Hello, everybody. Anna Charanova here with Robin Moser and Associates and Remax Realty Professionals. As you can see, I'm doing a solo again, and I'm actually going to have a great show today because I'm making something called Canadian coffee, which sounds delicious, and it's definitely great for Wednesday liquid lunch, brunch, or just, if you want a coffee to pick me up in the morning, so to speak. And we're going to be talking about inter-provincial comparison. So just kind of give you a little bit an outlook how Alberta performs or compares across Canada and what to pay attention to. But let's start with the recipe first. Just let me get back into it. All right, so super easy. I got my Nespresso already made. Uh, it's a simple syrup. Maple syrup, whiskey, and whipping cream. So super easy to make and sounds delicious. The recipe in the book called for like a bunch, like to make for it, like for like a party. So I kind of guessed what it's gonna look like if you had to do just one coffee, because sometimes you want to make one of those for yourself, maybe over the weekend. But I'm basically gonna start with an ounce of whiskey that goes in, and I boil in it. So like I don't like my coffee super sweet. So I'm doing just a little bit less of Canadian syrup. I'm gonna mix that all together. I feel like my cup is a little bit too full for the whipped cream. And because I am dairy intolerant, I'm doing the coconut cream. So let's go for it. Obviously, if you like it a little bit stronger and a little bit sweeter, just add more syrup. So hold on, let me take all this away. Kind of. So there you go, your nice cup of coffee. I don't know how I'm gonna drink this. This is insane. Making like tons of mess. Robin, I finally made a mess, and it's not you. Yes, that's definitely something Anna would like, and I like it a lot. It's a really good substitution for coffee and Baileys. It's again for, I think, for the amount of coffee I made, 1 ounce whiskey, just right. It's not super boozy, and I do like that little sweetness that I have from maple syrup. Again, if you like your coffee sweeter, just put a little bit more maple syrup. Yeah, and it just really kind of like a holiday drink. Maybe you can do it in Christmas instead of, like cola or coffee and Baileys. But highly recommend. Super easy to make, and yeah, it's delightful, especially on a cold winter day. So we are doing interprovincial comparison. So I did put some graphs together. That I got all from Google, CMHC sites, and other various sites that specialize in pulling data for real estate in Canada. And I will put them on the screen because it's easy to see what I'm going to be trying to say. But I wanted to say something before we start. When people read that, newspapers or social media, and says Canada's real estate market is declining, or Canada's market doing this and that, that's a national level. It's how Canada performs altogether. It's not necessarily how Alberta performs. And for those who have been in Alberta long enough, you guys know we have our own cycle, which is could be very unpredictable, that can change rapidly, like matter of days, like a week. Sometimes we go from big boom to a big decline, and it all depends basically on our uh, consumer confidence, our economy and our political kind of foundation, I guess, in Alberta. We have very much have our own bubble. I hate the term bubble, but we are. We perform differently from Canada just because how like our economy and how we grow as a province is very very different. And for though we try to diversify our economy from oil and gas, it's still a bigger portion that brings the money to Alberta. And when that industry outperforms itself, Alberta outperforms Canada by a large. But let's start with first graph here. I'm gonna put it up there, and I'm gonna remove this. So this is let's start with an interprovincial migration, right? How many people move from province to province? And as you can see, and that's into Alberta. So I don't know if it's hard to see the colors or not, but the red is how many people moved so far in 2025, and I just have first quarter statistics. But you can see from Ontario and from BC, they are the leading provinces from where people are moving into Alberta. And we completely agree because when we work with clients, this is where our majority of clients are from. And Saskatchewan, Manitoba is up there as well. How does it compare, just quickly, to the last year? So the last year, 2024, you first quarter is in black, second quarter is in blue, and third quarter is in yellow, and light blue is fourth quarter. So you can see Ontario last year, you know, throughout the year was moving, like a lot of people were moving from Ontario. That black, that blue, and yellow are very strong, high numbers coming to Alberta. BC also is a little bit less, but you can see in third quarter, quite a few people from BC moved in, and it slowed down in fourth quarter of 2024. So by statistics, I think what they said, just this first quarter of 2025, Alberta saw over 21,000 people move to Alberta. And in first quarter, like I just was gonna say, and that's a decrease from 2024. Like, so if we had 21,000 moved just in the first quarter of 2025, just imagine how many people we had moved in 2024. No wonder we experiencing some housing shortage. And of course, the how is it compared to, like, you know, what is happening in 2025? So I found stats here for, which is as recent as I possibly can get them, from October 2025 here. So you can see basically British Columbia, it's a soft buyer's market. The average price trend is declining and sales volume is declining. And it's on, like, you know, Vancouver just being such a big metropolitan is basically one is like the probably driving those statistics down, where we're probably going to see a little bit different picture of surrounding areas in BC. So then for Alberta, what we are saying, we are balanced market slash gaining market. So we are definitely, we track statistics in with Robin Moser ourselves, like in-house, and we are definitely what we call balanced market. It's not the sellers, it's not the buyers. We have a healthy absorption rate. So basically what goes on the market sells. And we still seeing gains in certain areas of Calgary. So, you know, since we kind of specialize in Calgary and surrounding areas, we can speak confidently that we still see uneven markets depending on the community and depending on the satellite city. So when we talk about like Cochrane, Strathmore, Chestermere, Okotoks, and so the prices have come down slightly, very, like I would say, again depending on the area, which makes a little bit more affordable, and there is a little bit more inventory. So obviously when inventory, there is a little bit more inventory, that competition goes down. So people can take their time picking and choosing what they want, which usually brings the price down. Ontario, soft buyers market, so they are declining in sales and prices, and they've been doing that for a while, to be honest. And again, that's kind of happening all over Ontario. I know there are growth markets in Ontario, in smaller communities like Ottawa, for example. They've seen a growth, and Quebec. So Quebec is one of those interesting provinces that they kind of have the most stable market. It doesn't go up or down a lot, but we can see that right now it's a tight sellers market, strong gains in price and sales. So a lot of people, probably again from Ontario, I would say, are moving to Quebec. And of course, we don't want to forget that international immigration, a lot of people do land mostly on east side of Canada and can spike that growth. And New Brunswick, Newfoundland, PEI. So those provinces, interesting, they just start seeing growth within the last probably quarters of 2024 and into this year. They, because why that happens, they become suddenly attractive because they're more affordable. So for the people who work from home and they don't can be anywhere, that creates an opportunity for more affordable lifestyle. And if you like the climate there and just a little bit slow pace, this is a perfect for somebody who wants to save and live in less busy metropolitan areas. Mm. And one more graph for you guys here. So this one is how would I say, the biggest cities, I guess, in different provinces and how they compare to each other in and what it is in terms of alternative rental markets. So because we had such a shortage of housing, the Canadian government did incentive program for anybody who would build rental purpose buildings, apartments, multifamily, and finally this year, I would say, they we've seen those projects completing. Like last year there was a quite a number of projects completed. This year project completed. So as soon as we start finding the housing for the people who want to rent, because usually people who show up in a new city, they want to rent for a bit to figure it out where they're going next. So they finally found those rent purpose buildings, and they can live there happily for quite a bit. So, which means the investors market has softened. So, a lot of people were investing into potential rentals. So that market softened, which bring the rental prices down. I believe I read in Calgary alone, the rental price is 5% down from last year. So, it kind of gives you an idea. But so the 10-year average is 2016 to 2025 is in dark blue, and in 2025 uh, is in red, basically. So that's, you can see that because we had that incentive that we needed to build rental purpose buildings. It was a big push on that throughout the Canada. You can see how much more units are available now, and in Calgary and Edmonton, actually, outperform Calgary in terms of how many apartment rental apartments have been built. Vancouver is the least one out, well, and Toronto. So those, I think, because of the already so high density, it's really hard to build so many units. But we do have the land and capabilities for the redevelopment. And you can see at the end, Halifax, just generally in a 10-year average and in 2025 outperforms all the cities where they can house people in a rent purpose buildings. So, and what interesting about those statistics is that you can see that how, even though we still struggling with affordable living, we're struggling with housing, there has been a huge progress throughout the Canada in terms of housing the people and moving from one province to another, and there is kind of been a movement through Canada as well. So what I wanted to kind of bring you back to, sorry, to this graph is when we talked about province to province, is that Alberta is in balanced slash gaining market, which is, this is the best market you want to be. We are still seeing robust demand because we have that strong interprovincial migration that is happening, especially, I mean, from all the provinces, but especially from Ontario and BC provinces. So I hope it gives you an idea. And what the intention was is really to educate how well Alberta is doing, and that Alberta is one of the provinces that everybody looks to be part of. Again, sometimes it's for lifestyle, sometimes it's for affordability, because when you come from Toronto, Vancouver to Calgary or Edmonton, it's definitely a very affordable type of living in comparison to the next biggest cities in Canada. And of course, being close to the mountains and British Columbia, uh, they love. We have that love that we can share the mountain lifestyle, outdoorsy lifestyle. I know a lot of people from Northern Ontario and Quebec would appreciate that as well. So it's kind of, Alberta gives something for everybody, and I think that's why we're so popular. And from what I understand, reading predictions for 2026 and potential growth for Alberta, we're still going to be seeing that into 2026. But that's all I got for you for now. Of course, we have a prize for each month, and I didn't have it on the show last time, but this is what we're gonna be giving away. We are giving away cocktail and whiskey smoker kit, which is, I'm gonna show you the back here. It has everything that you need for successful smoking, plus 4 different flavors, which is makes a really cool present for somebody. you know, Christmas is coming. If it's not for you, you can win it for that best friend of yours who can make those great old fashions. And how do you do that? So obviously, you have to follow our show, tag your friends and family, even if you just like the cocktail or you like that specific topic we talked about, and your name's gonna get entered to win. Show some love, share, and obviously on Facebook Live, we on LinkedIn, we on Instagram, also YouTube and TikTok. So every time we're gonna see your name throughout October on any social media platform, liking, loving, sharing, tagging your people, we gonna put your name into the draw, and you get to win. The winner is gonna to be announced on the first week of December. And what are we doing next week? So next week, Robin will be back, and I won't, but that's her turn to do it solo. And what she's going to be doing is Wobbly Wallers, and I think I totally butchered that name. And she'll talk about how to temporarily displace funds to buy a house And I know that's her favorite topic, to talk and teach to all our clients how to buy the house if you don't have saved down payment, you don't have cash, and how to find that cash. So I would like to say thank you for watching. Again, my name is Anna Taranova with Robin Moser and Associates. It's November. If you guys thinking of selling a home before the holidays, there is a plenty of time. Please reach out to both of us, Robin and myself, are happy to talk about. It's actually my favorite topic, why you should sell your home now versus waiting for a spring. And also, there will be changes coming in for the people who are thinking doing more expenditure of their investment portfolio. From what we hear, Bank of Canada will be imposing some new rules for investments, which will tie up some of the qualification. It's not going to be, it's not easy to qualify for your investment. So if you looking to buy or sell or plan, if you planning to do something in the spring or February, in the new year, just in general, please reach out so we can make sure we plan for you to succeed with your next real estate endeavor. Thank you for watching my Canadian coffee and Inter-Provincial Comparison episode. Have a good day.